Hello, happy Sunday. Welcome to the Sunday Catch-Up. My name's Adam Holmes. I'm a songwriter from Edinburgh in Scotland, and over the last 13 years I have been pursuing a professional career as a songwriter, as a creative coach, and I'm going to tell you some of the things that I've done in the last 13 years because it relates to what we're going to talk about today. I want to speak with you guys today about determination. And so I'm going to tell you a list of things that I've managed to achieve in the last 20 years. And I'm telling you this not to impress you, but just to gain a little bit of your trust that you think this short episode today might be worth a little bit of your time and you might get a little bit of value out of it. So in the last 15 to 20 years, I have been financially independent since age 15. I left home at 15. I've lost 60 pounds of body fat in my 20s. I've gained 10 pounds of muscle. I've overcome drug addiction. I've created 7 solo albums. I've created 5 EPs. I've created a live album. I've created 2 albums with a band. I created 3 rap albums. I've done thousands of concerts. I wrote a book on songwriting. I have 100 million views plus on social media and YouTube. I have millions of Spotify streams. I have 400,000 followers. I've been nominated for the Scottish Album of the Year award 3 times in a row. I've been up for BBC award nominations. I've had a lot of major radio play and TV appearances. I've created a course on songwriting. I've made dozens of music videos. I've starred in a short film. I made a documentary about songwriting. I made dozens of albums for other people, produced albums for other people. I've built a monthly creative coaching business which has 4 to 5 clients at any one time. I've built a network of self-promoted concerts in the UK. I've gone from 20 grand's worth of debt to financial stability in 3 years. I've coached over 100 people since beginning from scratch in 2023. I've overcome post-traumatic stress disorder with therapy. I've learned basic boxing skills. And most recently, I've built a creative confidence membership site with over 570 members on Patreon. This is all whilst navigating a co-parenting relationship and caring for a 6-year-old on my own 50% of the time. That's a wee bit about me, and that connects to what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about determination. Now, all of the things that you heard on that list are things that required a great deal of determination. And I've been thinking this week a lot about what determination is, and I thought it could be a really interesting topic to dive into. This week I've been in Edinburgh, and I finished an album. I finished another album, so I should add to that list 8 solo studio albums. And I put my brand new album inside of my club on Patreon. As I mentioned before, we have 570 members in the club. It's only $1.50 a month to join, and I've built that as my own small stand against Spotify. The CEO of Spotify made more money in 1 year than the top 10,000 best performing artists. So that is the worst side of capitalism. I'm a believer in capitalism. I think there's a lot of good uses of it, but that's really the dark side of it, is someone getting paid that amount when the people producing the stuff are not getting paid anywhere near that. And we're talking about Beyonce, Justin Bieber, whoever, these guys not getting paid. So what do you think smaller artists like me are getting from Spotify? So instead of moaning about I built a club, there's 570 members, and I'm putting my full albums in there. There's hours and hours of content. There's loads of stuff in there. So come join us in there. Click the top comment if you want to join us in there. But this week I was hanging out in Edinburgh. I finished my album, my new album. It's called Survival. And it's the most vulnerable and strong work that I feel like I've made. It's very, very much a piece of art. It's not just a palatable collection of nice, friendly songs. There's a lot of different topics on there. There's a lot of different flavors and colors. And I wanted to make an album that I felt like if I wasn't here, I could give it to Rosa, my daughter who's 6, and she could understand who I am as a person. And so I'm really excited to share that. I've been getting some great feedback on it inside of the club. So I've been in Edinburgh, I finished that album, and I've just been hanging out. I took a couple of days, not off, because I never really take days off, to be honest, but I took a couple of days. A day off for me is just a day where I can do whatever I want. Do you know what I mean? I love that feeling, because there's so much discipline just required to keep my life running as it is, that it feels amazing just to have a couple of days that you can just kind of float about. I saw some pals, caught up for some lunch with some friends, and I taught my good friends wee one some boxing skills, and that was beautiful. Beautiful sign of community as well, just to really understand the power of community. Community is a practical thing. And that was a lot of the reason why I stopped doing gigs abroad. I was thinking, why am I in Austria right now? This guy's not going to come and help me get my kid from the school drop or that. So it feels good to plant seeds where you are, as well as planting good seeds worldwide. But, you know, the power of a strong community around you is a beautiful thing. And I was really feeling that over this weekend and appreciating that. Okay, guys, determination. What is determination? Who's this episode for? This episode is for you if you would like to have more boundaries in your life, more money, if you'd like to lose weight, if you'd like to be healthier, if you'd like to make more art, put yourself out there, have a business. The number one thing you're going to need to do any of those things is determination. And I've had a lot of comments in the last little while from people and messages from people talking about the determination I have, which has been externally presented to the world through the medium of the 400,000 followers that I've built in the last couple of years. So that's a very obvious external example of that. And it's had a lot of people noticing things that I've been doing. That said, I've been doing what I've been doing for a long time without any attention. And I've been doing the work of building better boundaries, making more money, losing weight, getting healthier, making more art, long before I had any attention. And so I think it's an area of strength for me. And I was thinking about why? Why is it an area of strength for me? And what is it? What actually is determination? And I've been meditating on that across the weekend and thinking of how I could encapsulate it and offer some thoughts, concepts, questions that could help you if it's an area that you're struggling with. So when I think, what is determination? And I really think not what's the dictionary definition, but what do I actually think it is, right? I think permission to live in a state of play and discovery. I think determination is giving yourself permission to live in a state of play and discovery. I always think about babies. When you see a baby walk along and fall down, they're never like, I'm such a piece of shit. I'm such a piece of shit for falling down. I should never try that again, right? They just give themselves permission to just stand up. They keep standing up. They just keep going. Babies are amazing. They never, ever make a failure about them. They give themselves permission, or they just, whatever it is, some universal energy or whatever that just gives them permission to live in that state of play and discovery. And I think what kind of happens to some extent as we go into the big bad world and layers get put on us and ideas and concepts get put on us. And I think a lot of them come from school, which is a system which grades people on failure and success in a very binary kind of way, rather than progress in a more holistic way. So I think that's a part of it. But many people seem to just lose that sense of permission, where they feel that they can live in a state of play and discovery as they get older. So I think one thing determination is that state of permission to live in that state of play. Another thing I think it is anti-anxiety. What do I mean by that? Well, the basis of anxiety is what if something bad happens, right? Anti-anxiety is the basis of what if something good happens. That's the vision side. What if I lose weight successfully? What if I make more money? What if I make more art? What if I could have a family, right? What if on the positive side is a lot of what determination is. I think ultimately determination is actually positivity. A lot of people think of it as this grind, and some of it is that, don't get me wrong. I think a lot of it, for me anyway, has been the grind, just grinding and grinding, but you're holding that in the space of the positivity of life, the belief in something better. You listen to Martin Luther King's speech, it's terrible that all this racism is going on and we can't live like this anymore. It's so bad, it's terrible. Of course, all those things were true, but what did he say? He said, I have a dream. I have a dream. I can see this. He showed everyone. It's the most beautiful thing to me. He showed everyone what could happen, what was possible, which I think is just beautiful. It's beautiful. And so many people had tried to talk about on the negative side, and the minute that he said, I have a dream, little white kids, little black kids playing together, and he shot this vision onto this projector for everyone. Determination is anti-anxiety. What if it works out? That's a muscle, by the way. It's not one that comes naturally. Our minds are designed to seek the negative in life on some levels as a self-protection measure. So it's a muscle. It's a muscle. Another thing I think determination is the state of being self-supported. What do I mean by that? Being self-supported is the knowledge of where to delegate and where not. Right? I am not determined to be the best chef in Edinburgh at all. At all. I just eat out all the time because I want to just pour all of my energy into this stuff and my music and building, and I'm totally fine delegating, right? I am totally fine not having the most interior design, beautiful home. Like, I like my home. It's plain, it's simple, it works, but I'm not putting energy there, right? Because I know the amount that I need to delegate into all the stuff that I cannot have someone else do for me, right? I know what can't be delegated. I know what is on me. And there's a great saying which I'm going to butcher and paraphrase, which is along the lines of, if you want it done badly, send for it. And if you want it done right, do it yourself. Now, you have to find this balance in life between delegating what could be done just as well or better by someone else, but also it's about taking personal responsibility. No one's going to come and make you make more money or make you have boundaries or make you lose weight or make you healthier or make you make more art. You have to be the one who decides that you're responsible for that. And if you can't do that, there's no point having determination, because that's going to be your bedrock and your foundation. And you're just going to keep falling back to this place of, why is someone not coming to support me? No one should support you. And if they do, bonus, brilliant, and enjoy it and appreciate it. And that's a beautiful thing. I have amazing friends who do support me now, but I was building in the trenches when I didn't. I was building in the trenches when I was trying to build good boundaries with people I was having difficulties with. I was building in the trenches when I had no money, when I had no art, when I had no evidence. When I had no evidence to tell me that I was going to be successful, I was still there. And the reason why is because I was self-supported, because I was making myself 1,000,000% responsible for what I am responsible for. That's a crucial foundation, guys. I have developed 5 questions. I've written 5 questions down, and I think these questions could help you, excuse me, with your determination. They could help you uncover some of the concepts and mindsets that you need to experience more determination and have more determination. The first one is, are you learning from your mistakes? That's a question which could be misread. It could sound like, are you learning from your mistakes? It's not said like that. It's said like mistakes are fuel, right? Mistakes can either be regret or they can be direction. That's your choice. The same as the baby that doesn't fall over and go, God, I'm just a terrible baby. I'm so bad at being a baby. I should just not be a baby anymore. Right? You can make a decision today that your mistakes can become directional, that they are feedback. They are literally just feedback. There's a great saying which says, not learning from a mistake becomes a choice, right? At some point it becomes a choice. If you're not learning, if you keep making mistakes and you're not learning from it, that's a choice. And equally on the other side, making mistakes and learning from them is a beautiful choice. I'm learning right now about doing lives on Instagram, doing lives on YouTube. I'm learning what works, and that's a new thing, and it's different. I've done thousands of gigs, but it's different. When you're online, it's different, man. People come to my gigs, 200 people there that know who I am. They're sitting down, they're having a great time, and they already know me, so I'm not doing the work of like, hey guys, this is me, this is what I do. They're there. They know the person that I am, so they're kind of on side already. When I'm doing Instagram lives, luckily enough now, a bunch of my club members come on and are super, super supportive when I'm on the Instagram live, when I'm on YouTube live. But 90% of the people coming through, it's like busking. So it's like I'm learning right now how to communicate better, how to let people know who I am and give them an insight into me in the short window of time that I do have. So I have an opportunity there. I can watch the footage when I upload it. I'll sit and watch my Instagram lives and go, that didn't come across well, or I could say that better, or maybe this choice of song didn't give the best impression of the overall arc of who I am, but I'm not doing it in a like, I'm so bad at this way. I'm doing it in the way of like, maybe that could be improved, right? Maybe that could be better. So many of us go into any kind of practice and it's like walking into a gym and being skinny and looking at the biggest, buffest dude that's there and being like, oh, I'm no good at this. Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 10. You could be I look at guys who are amazing at Instagram Live, amazing at this stuff, right? But they've done it 10 years, right? And to me, it gives me such a sense of power and self-power and freedom to just say to myself, maybe you're not good enough yet. Maybe you just got learning to do. I just always say that to myself. Not yet. Not yet, son. It's like talking to your own kid. Not yet. Just keep going. Keep learning. You've got more to learn. It will come. Just keep learning. The second question I want to ask you, connected to determination, is, are you willing to experience shame? What is shame? What actually is shame? It's crazy. You think about, there's this concept in life, you're only sitting or you're standing, you're walking, you're lying down. That's it. That's all that happens, right? And the rest is feelings. Everything that you do in your life, getting married, losing weight, making art, running a business, having boundaries, not having boundaries, all of it is just to get a feeling or avoid a feeling, right? And the amount of people that are just not willing to experience embarrassment is astonishing to me. It's astonishing. Think about a beautiful little baby like blushing when they do something silly. How beautiful is that? It's the most beautiful thing. That's what shame is. That's what embarrassment is. You will be rewarded by the universe if you put yourself out there and you're willing to just put your shame out there as an example to the world, like, hey guys, I'm embarrassed, but I'm here. Hey, I'm ashamed, but I'm here. Hey, I'm not an expert, but I'm here. The universe will reward you for that. So are you willing to experience shame? It's a beautiful thing. It's one of life's joys. It's the contrast. Enjoy the shame. Enjoy the confidence. Enjoy it all. Number 3, and this definitely connects, is are you open? Are you willing to feel more? Are you willing to feel more? Because a lack of determination is almost like an antidepressant. What it does is it just compresses the scope of all of your feelings. On the positive side, you're not feeling as much fulfillment. You're not feeling as much purpose, as much passion. On the negative side, you're not feeling as much failure. You're not feeling as much shame. And I urge you, I invite you to ask yourself, are you willing to feel more? Are you willing to go into the great game of life and just open yourself to the feelings, to all of them? And to not throw away any feelings, to say to yourself, I'm here to experience all of the colors of life, and it's a beautiful thing. The 4th question I want to ask you is, who's deciding what healthy looks like for you, right? When you become determined in a way that allows you to do things which are not normal, you will encounter people who will tell you it's not healthy. And I think that people tell you this because they want you to stay where you are. And this is not a bit of the talk where it's like, oh, my teacher never believed in me. It's not like that. People never believed in me. I did it on my own. It's not that. All it is just people want you to stay where you are. Because honestly, it doesn't challenge them. If you start to, for example, in my life, I'm a parent and I'm on my own with a little one half the time. Do I have some support? Yes, but every big decision, every little decision, all the decision making, all the responsibility is on me as her dad, right? That's my job. That is my job. And I've managed to, whilst I'm a very present dad, I'm a great dad with Rosa. I give her a lot of attention. I give her a lot of time. I teach her. I'm a good example to her. And also I've managed to build crazy, crazy stuff. Just while Rosa's been here, I've built 400,000 followers. Just while Rosa's been here, I've made a lot of albums, like a dozen albums for myself and other people. I've acted in films, I've written books, I've made a video course. I've done all this stuff, and I have a lot of people around me who are parents who would use their children as an excuse to not follow their own dreams, right? So when you make moves as a person, and as a person who comes from a similar circumstance as someone else, and they're not making that move, they'll just want you to stay where they are, because if you stay where they are, it doesn't threaten their sense of what's possible. We don't really want that sense threatened, because it's ego death. If we see someone who has achieved a lot of the things that we want to achieve with a lot of the limitations that we have, that threatens something for us, right? My brother, Colin, came from our family. We came from a very chaotic family. And he managed to build a very secure family unit and build financial stability. And I saw him do that, and it was like, okay, now I don't have an excuse. Because my excuse before that was like, well, I'm just from this place, I can't do it, right? So his example threatened my ego, but also if you allow it to, it can just be the most beautiful example and you can use it. So, but a lot of people will not use it as an example. A lot of people will just, rather than using it as an example and climbing up out the pit, they'll just try and pull you back down. It's just true. That is just true. If you try and build anything big, that's true. If you try and move away from people who just take drugs and drink, and they'll want you to come back there because it helps them feel okay about what they're doing. So who's decided for you what healthy looks like? If you're doing your best to build an amazing art project, is it like your mum who's never done any art stuff? And mum, if you're watching this, you know I'm not talking about you because you were a good example on this. But what I'm asking you is, who's making your decisions on what healthy looks like? Is it someone that you'd want to trade places with? Is it always healthy for me to sit at 7 at night and rather than chilling out, just be working? I don't know. It's what I do. It's what I do. I don't think it's very healthy for people to sit and watch 9 hours of Netflix at night, and yet that's normal. So who's deciding what healthy looks like for you? It could be that you wouldn't want to trade places with those people. And if that's true, maybe don't let them dictate what healthy looks like. The last question I want to ask you in the conversation on determination is, do you celebrate the little wins? Do you celebrate when you make a little milestone with your art, when you get a bit healthier, when you lose a little bit of weight, when you make a little bit more money, when the boundaries in your life are a wee bit more defined? Do you celebrate that? Here are some ways I celebrate my wins. Clothing. I like nice clothing. I like clothing that feels good for me. I like watches. I like nice watches. I like a nice haircut. I like to go to the cinema. I like to take myself out for a meal. It's just little ways of saying thanks to myself for being determined, because if you're just determined and there's no thanks and there's no praises and there's no appreciation to the universal forces that have put you in a position to be able to do this stuff. That energy of appreciation, when you appreciate yourself, you appreciate everything. If you think about appreciating yourself as appreciating everything, it's a beautiful thing. It's like if God's in all of us. And you might not like that word. I'm sure for many people that word has like a charge, right? Because of secular religions or whatever. But I want you to think about God just as the universal energy of things going right. Certain laws in the universe, like if you work out a certain way and eat right, you feel better. If you make more art, you feel better. If you have better boundaries, you feel better. Why is that? What are those laws? What are those laws? Well, I think they come from somewhere. This is what I think. And I think that place is much greater than we can possibly understand. And I think that when we appreciate ourselves, we appreciate that energy in the world. So do you celebrate the little wins? If you have enjoyed this talk, come join my club. It's only $1.50 a month to join us in there. There's hours and hours of content. It's a positive place on the internet. Everyone who is in the club is already living a more aligned life, living a more fulfilled life. Everyone from the club that is watching this, God bless you. I appreciate you. And I'm loving the journey of building this thing with you. It doesn't feel like my club, it's our club. We're building it all together. There is no me without you. Thank you very much for making that little vote to support me. And also just a huge thanks to everyone who upgraded their membership last week. I said last week that I was going to make all online concerts included in the membership cost of being in the club. So everyone who decided to upgrade your memberships, you didn't have to do that, but it's hugely, hugely appreciated, and it will go towards hiring more people to come and help with filming stuff, which is really, really exciting. So if you're not in the club, click the link in the top comment. Come join us in the club. You get my full albums, you get WhatsApp chat, group coaching, just loads and loads of stuff, hours and hours of content. I hope you guys got some nuggets out of this. Please let me know in the comments what your favourite part of this was. I would love to know, and have a fantastic Sunday. Peace and love. See ya.